From the Diary of the Sisters of St. Francis, who have been in charge since the very foundation. Holy Rosary Mission was the original name of Red Cloud School. The nuns' names are not listed. It was originally written in German. Their words, however, say a lot about how the nuns viewed Native people. We asked one of our colleagues to read some excerpts.
All the children the first year were heathens. 60 received baptisms, and 30 made their first Holy Communion.
The nuns write about their arrival in Lakota country and how Native folks, first seeing them dressed in long black habits, asked if they were the priest's wives. There's heartbreaking stuff here too, about the flu, tuberculosis, and other diseases that were spreading throughout the Lakota community on Pine Ridge.
The Indians were left mostly for themselves. In one tent, after 4 days, it was found that the entire family was dead. In one, just a baby remained. Among the Indians, there were many deaths. Medicine, treatment, food, etc. was all missing for them. We had funerals every day in our cemetery, even as high as 4 in one day.
Then I find a chilling first-hand account of an especially tragic chapter in America's history with Native peoples. By the late 1800s, American Indians were losing their hold on their ancestral lands and way of life. People in the plains were starving because the buffalo had been killed off. European diseases were tearing through tribal communities, and the U.S. Army was winning the so-called Indian Wars.
The buffalo been killed off intentionally, by the way.
Parts of Indian country, called the Ghost Dance. The Ghost Dance was based on prophecy that better days would come for Native people, that the earth would be restored, and that they would live in peace. The dance was intense and mesmerizing. The nun's diary talks about going to see the Lakota Ghost Dance a few miles away from the school.
When we arrived, 500 were ready to start the dance. At a sign from the head chief, they started to howl. They started to dance, slowly at first, then faster, until they were unconscious.
The nun describes the ghost dancers as wearing clothes painted with pictures of scary animals. She wrote that they wanted the Great Spirit to turn the white man into buffalo and codfish so that they'd have something to hunt. White Americans felt threatened by the ghost dance. It was a peaceful movement, but the U.S. government treated it like an uprising that had to be put down. On a December day in 1890, a group of Lakota gathered not far from Holy Rosary Mission.
So much for freedom of religion.
The U.S. cavalry surrounded them, then started shooting. Reading this first-hand report is gut-wrenching.
And in their superstitions, they imagined nothing could possibly harm them. But in their first bloody meet with the government troops, it proved to them that they had a false impression.
Wounded Knee was a massacre, one of the final chapters of America's Indian Wars. Hundreds of men, women, and children were killed on that barren hill. All this practically on the doorstep of the school.
As 40 acres of the land where the battle was fought belongs to Holy Rosary, the cemetery where the original warriors are buried still remain next to the church.